Hello everyone and welcome back to Gaming with Shoggoths, and we are here for another episode of Mishaps and Mayhem because for some reason I didn't have a voice track on my recording.
Definition of teamwork. I call, you respond. Perfect.
Let me see if I can guess the dinosaurs Dr. Wu used for this hybrid.
So as you can see, we are going on to mission 2, and to be perfectly honest, my voice being missing from this was the least of the problems. I forgot to load one of the mods, the mod for like the dinosaur of this this episode, and I had a bunch of other silly stuff happen. So really, I guess that's just the theme for today's episode. I actually recorded this originally on the same day that I posted the Fallen World demo, and that one didn't have voice too. So yeah, it pretty much happened for the same reason it's been happening, because of, for some reason my computer and Steam think that my PlayStation is a microphone, even though it's also, it says PlayStation controller attached, but some of the stuff thinks it's a microphone. And so if I don't make sure that the setting is right, which sometimes it just switches randomly, then then it doesn't get the vocals. Okay, so this is the point where I realized that I forgot to load the mod. So you get to see some Stegoceratops coming out after all. But yeah, so
Excellent. Just look at this animal, would you? So impressive.
It is impressive. It's
I
weird,
think
but it
others
is.
will admire our work as much as we do. Let's have our personnel observe the Stegoceratops for a bit. They don't need to know any more than what I'm willing to share, which at this point is very little.
We're gonna charge money to see this eventually, right? Asking for a friend.
So what I've been
A
doing...
Stegoceratops. You might think it's calm and docile, but I'm not so sure.
So what I've been doing, once I looked up the problem I was having with the voice not recording while I had my PlayStation controller plugged in, I found the problem, and I did the things to fix it, but even when I looked at the fix, they said sometimes it'll revert back. So I just got into the habit of, doing a voice test before, real quick, just to make sure everything was working before I start the normal recording. And yep, you guessed it. The one time I'm all like, oh, it's been working great so far. I record this episode, and then immediately after it, the Fallen World episode, which I then go to edit the Fallen World episode, and that's when I find out that, yeah, no voice. So I guess that's what I get for being like confident and trusting
As
that
impressive
everything's
as this
fixed.
animal is, I think we can push the Stegoceratops even more. Let's create another with further modified genes.
Reading between the lines here, but did Dr. Wu just suggest your first attempt at this hybrid was in some way defective? Maybe not. But what if he did?
He did, because he's kind of a jerk.
The
Alright, so
fence
now
must
I'm
be
gonna
solid, huh?
get
This is what we
interrupted.
like to see.
So we'll put another Stegoceratops in, and then this is the point where I go and I end up pausing it for a while, or letting it run, or whatever. Yeah, no, I had to pause it because I had to shut it down to load up the mod after I make it this. So, yeah. It's good times. So there's normal Stegoceratops, but we will see the mod by Sweetener here really soon. Promise. I think all that modding really made the success rate low. Well, 55, that's not that bad. It could be worse. And then magically it's daytime. And then When one thinks everything is going smoothly, the Aurora, Aurora Borealis, the Borealosaurus decides to slowly plod. Because I waited like a good 10 minutes for the sun to come back up. More than that, I think, actually, honestly. Probably more like 15 or 20. And then the Borealosaurus takes its sweet time. Any second. There we go. Alright, so this is the Agathamus. There's a mod by Sweetener from the Dehybridized pack, which is the pack we've been showcasing in the last episode, this episode, and we will continue to do so the next episode.
Is just beautiful. Now, let's put it to the test. We'll set up a series of challenges to see how it performs. This will be invaluable research into understanding our Stegoceratops.
You know what they say about beauty in the eye of the beholder. It's no oil painting, if you ask me.
I don't know, it looks like an oil painting to me,
Let's see how the
Cabot.
Stegoceratops measures up when compared to alpha predators. I've set up a series of confrontations. Combat most dangerous. Can you keep it alive?
So, from what I have gathered from looking up this dinosaur, it is what is considered a dubious species, meaning it is a ceratopsian, it is a dinosaur that really exists. This isn't like a fake dinosaur or anything like that. This is not like the fake real dinosaur that Sweetener made previously, but the reason why it's considered dubious is because they're not certain if this is maybe a young version of another dinosaur, or or if it is its own species, or it's just another, part of the lifespan of another known dinosaur. They're really uncertain, and I like that one. It's really nice and green. Can't quite see it in the dark, but it's really cool. A couple of these have like a green tint to them. Makes them look nifty. But yeah, so they are what's considered a dubious species. They are real. It's just science is pretty sure that they're not actually their own group, and that they are a part of another ceratopsian species. They're just not sure which one, because they have very little physical evidence of them at this time. But despite that, Sweetener has made a really awesome mod. I love the black horn. It looks super cool. So if you haven't seen this before, we're going to end up having to fight our Agathamus against some carnivores. And the first time I ever did this mission, way, a couple, 3 years ago, something like whenever this game came out. The first time I did it, my carnivores ended up one of them got killed by one of the other Triceratops, not the Triceratops it's supposed to get, or not Triceratops, but the Stegoceratops that it's supposed to be killed by. So that totally screwed up the mission. Had to remake the dinosaur, had to do all kinds of stuff all over again. So it's big brain time. I made a separate enclosure for a little battle arena. And that way, the dinosaurs that are supposed to fight will fight, and that's all we have to worry about.
Assets in the air. Confirming asset delivery.
So there's our Ceratosaurus. That beautiful, beautiful Jagged Fangs designs.
Asset has been delivered.
And Of course, it's gonna take a nap. That's how threatening it thinks that this Megathomus is. But we know different, right? Of course, this Agathaumas gets really uncomfortable really quick because, unlike the Triceratops, which is chill just being alone, the Stegoceratops needs like 4 to be happy because apparently it just takes on all the genes of the Stegosaurus. So it unfortunately gets unhappy, and that makes me feel bad. What can you do? This is what the game wants. Although I'm not entirely sure why I'm in the... Oh, I think I was worried about having to heal. I'm not sure what I was in there for, but... Yeah, I think I was jeeping just in case I needed to heal, but yeah, it doesn't... Not necessary. And the Agathaumas is such an overpowered creature compared to the Ceratosaurus that his entire muzzle just goes right through the dinosaur's neck. Now that's a victory. He's gonna go take his victory lap.
Asset collection request received.
Victory is mine. Whee!
Delivery has been completed.
Alright, so this is the yes, it is the Jurassic Park 3 modded Spino. It's just made to look a bit more like the one from Jurassic Park 3. And it's going to get its butt kicked all the same. Get a nice view of it here, although I don't know if it's the mod or if it's the animation not matching. I think it's the animation not matching up with the Spino because the Spino's so big. But it's like it's just that like the nuzzle width of Doom there.
Collecting asset.
This is the point at which the almost the Botaparasaurus, that's sort of the other Sweetener. This is where the Agathaumas starts to get really agitated. And really, who could blame it? Trying to get that wall fixed, but don't believe they got there in time. And neither does the incoming Giga. And that's what that one is. And this is, it's kind of a bummer that this is the first time you'll see this mod, is it getting dropped in to get killed by a Stegoceratops or a Stegoceratops mod. But
Adding additional task.
you're about to see for the first time in this series, well, the Isle Giga. This mod is based off of the look of the Giganotosaurus from the Isle, which is lovely. Personally, I find the head to be a little big, but other than that, I quite love this mod. The Giga is one of my favorite dinosaurs. I am staring at a model Giga. Oh, why is my phone going? Sorry about that. See what I mean? This episode is just cursed. No one ever calls me. They always text me. This is the one time that someone decided to call me as well. I'm recording something. So even this Giga really is not going to be much match for this Stegoceratops, which is not a Stegoceratops. I really dig the coloring, the patterns on these Agathamas. They look super cool. Stab him! And there you go. 3 carnivores dead.
En route to pick up the asset.
1 Agathamas pretty ticked off at this point.
Confirmed. Acknowledged.
The first Stegoceratops we created would not have survived, but this animal was queen. We've learned so much about these alpha hybrids. You'll need to be extra vigilant. If word gets out about these animals, they'll be the target of attacks and thieves. Every advancement in science comes at a cost, but seeing what the Stegoceratops is capable of was worth it. Our first animals wouldn't have survived these face-offs, which makes me think someone continues to work against our agenda. The question is, how that someone could interfere with our incubation protocols. We can't afford to let that happen.
Poor guy is so angry that he doesn't even see that I have the gate open for him to to go join his friends.
I'm making you an offer you really shouldn't refuse.
Alright, well, that is pretty much it for this episode. I just try and wrangle it back into the enclosure, and that's about it. So, yeah, that is the Agathamas replacing the Stegoceratops. Super cool mod. I like it. It's got some really cool skin patterns, which we will definitely have to delve into more of later in another episode. Unfortunately, you know, this island has so much dark time and barely any light time, and it's just difficult to see some of this stuff. But there it is, the beautiful Agathamas made by Sweetener, part of the dehybridized mod pack, which you can get on Nexus. Just like, oh, look at that. That was very graceful. I forgot that happened. But glad we got to see that quick, right? Alright, so thank you very much for watching, as always. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a like. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll be back with more Jurassic World Evolution modded real soon. Until then, have a good one.